Okay guys, welcome back to another episode of Review Bros. Sorry we've had a bit of a gap in getting these done. You've been a little bit ill over the last few days, but you've still been managing to get down the gym and get stuff done. Today we're reviewing the pre-workout, one you might not have heard of, which is from Beyond Alpha Nutrition. It's called Alpha Instinct Pre-Workout. It's quite a big tub. Definitely looking forward to getting into this review with you guys. We've been using it for the last 4 to 5 days, I would say. Stay tuned and we'll let you know how it goes down. Okay, so we're going to move into the flavour of this. I'm going to be the only one taking it now because Craig's trained earlier in the day, so we'll go by my taste. You've obviously got it in mind.
Yeah.
You're going to have a sip of mine just to
enlighten myself.
The only flavour we can see on the website is pomegranate, and that's the flavour we do have, so we do believe that is the only one. Which, to be fair, I was quite excited about because I like pomegranate flavoured things. I think they're quite rare in the pre-workout world.
True, yeah. We found something you like the taste of.
Let's see, see what my thoughts are for you guys on camera.
It's a big scoop as well, and it's one scoop max, isn't it?
Yeah. No frothing. Seems to mix okay. There is some black bits at the bottom and some sort of
beetroot extract, perhaps.
Yeah, that's my guess as well, beetroot extract, which is one of the ingredients, if you stay tuned for that section. Let me know your thoughts.
It's got a strange consistency to it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it reminds me of full as fuck.
Yeah. If you've tried the pomegranate, is it pomegranate? It must be, mustn't it? Yeah. Extremely similar to that. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely not horrible. It's doable easily. It mixes well.
I'll be honest, I don't really like it that much.
What would you say if average is 2.5 out of 5?
I'd say 2.
You go a bit below average, would you?
Yeah, it's got like definitely funny aftertaste, like the black pepper. It's like bitter. Bitter's the best word for it. I wouldn't say sour, I'd say bitter.
It's hard. I would say...
What would you say?
I would say average, or maybe a tiny bit below average. So a bit above your score. Because it doesn't make me feel like reach as I'm drinking it, but it's not banging either. No. So maybe a 2.25 if we meet in the middle.
What should we go for?
2.25 if you're saying 2 and I'm saying average 2.5.
Yeah. It's a 2.25 out of taste, so a bit disappointing on that front, but like Craig said, not undoable.
Yeah.
So that's the taste wrapped up for you guys.
Moving on to price time. So the whole tub is how much?
So if I talk about the prices, because I've memorised them. So at this current period of time, Beyond Alpha on their website, they currently don't have this in stock that I can see. But what they do have is a batch that went out of Best Beyond date November 2018. So that's not long ago. And they have done a massive reduction. So normally it's $46 a tub, which is £35. It's currently retailing at $16 per tub, which is, you know, I haven't done the conversion, but it's like 12 quid. Shipping not included, I'm guessing. But that is a massive drop in price. So if you don't mind the fact that it's just gone out of date at the end of last year, I'm sure it'll work exactly the same. It's just there for safety precautions. Then for that massive steal, then I suggest getting over to there quick, because I imagine they're going to be gone very quick. But we're going to move on and talk about the regular price, because that's, let's face it, that's what's normally going to be the case, which is, like I said, $46 a tub, £35 a tub in UK price, which works out at, because there's 25 servings a tub, because they are big scoops, £1.40 per scoop, per serving per day, however often you're going to take it, or $1.84 a go, which is on our scale a 3 out of 5 on price. So it's not a bad, you know, it's above average. It's not a bad price. And at the end of this review, we'll be able to sort of tell you if that price is justified or if it's worse. But on the scale of things, it's a 3 out of 5. So, you know, get over to the website as quick as you can if you want that reduced stock.
Alright, we're just going to run through the label on this pre-workout now. So I'll run through it and you can just do a little backstory on what each of the ingredients do.
Yeah.
First up, we have vitamin B12, so we're not going to get into that, it's an obvious one. L-citrulline malate 2:1, 6,000 milligrams.
So that's a good dosage of citrulline malate, really. I'd say 6 grams is sort of the minimum you want to be aiming for if you're going to go for that ingredient. That's obviously your pump inducer, your nitric oxide booster of the system, get the blood going, you know, get the pumps on in the gym.
Sweet. Next up, Vita Fibre 4,000 milligrams.
So Vita Fibre, we've not come across this one before. It's a trademark ingredient. However, I've seen that you can buy it in most places, so it's not specific to this one pre-workout. What I will say is its uses are sort of not really regarded in pre-workouts as such, but it is. So basically, it's been shown to be 60 to 70% as sweet as glucose, so as a sweetener. So that's what it's been put in there for. You know, I didn't think it worked. The pre-workout tasted bitter to myself.
Yeah.
So they probably would have been better just going off with sugar. You know, some people don't want that, and that's the alternative. So fair play to them for trying it out.
Yeah.
Fibre obviously helping in digestion.
Yeah. So that's pretty much that one in a nutshell. Creatine anhydrous 3,000 milligrams.
Yeah, so we said this yesterday, didn't we? We thought that was a really good dosage of creatine. Obviously that for explosive power, for water loading into the muscle cell, pumps, just strength overall. 3,000 milligrams of anhydrous creatine is a really good dose. Almost good enough to say that you wouldn't have to supplement with a creatine product on the side. I mean, you could, but you know, that's definitely a good dose. It's not one of these ones where they just chuck 500 milligrams in or 1,000 milligrams just for the sake of it almost. So yeah, that's a good dose of that. Good dose,
and that also plays into the fact why this pre-workout says to use this over a series of weeks and then the effects will improve.
Yeah,
so that ingredient will sort of play into that role as well as some of the pump ingredients. Moving on, so we've got beta-alanine, the carnosine one, at 2,000 milligrams.
Yeah, so that's the trademark version of beta-alanine. That's the best type of beta-alanine you're going to find on the market. You know, digestion's the best, the effects will be the best. However, I will say that for one scoop, 2,000 milligrams is below par. What I'd like to be seeing is 3 grams to 3.2 grams per scoop minimum, really.
Yeah.
And for that reason, we didn't really feel the beta-alanine effects.
No.
I think it will still have some of the positives of the lactic acid buffering, but you don't get the tingly feeling that the psychological effect that beta-alanine at a higher content will give you.
Yeah.
We'll move into that more in the effects section.
Agmatine sulfate, Agmamax trademark, it says, at 1,000 milligrams.
So yeah, again, that's a pump ingredient. It's almost along the same lines as creatine, but it does do more to boost the nitric oxide production of the body. So the pump is going to be good on that. How much was it again?
1,000 milligrams.
So that's sort of the minimum, really. It is a bit of a low dose, but again, a lot of them do have 1,000 milligrams of that, and it definitely will still have the good effects of the pump.
Sweet.
We'll have to let you know in the review.
Sweet. Beetroot extract, beetroot powder, should I say, 1,000 milligrams.
Yeah, so beetroot powder is in quite a lot of pre-workouts, but more so in the pump-only pre-workouts, pretty much. The reason being is beetroot has nitrates in it that improve the blood flow around the body, vasodilation, you know, the coupled with the effects of the blood flow, it will increase endurance and all those sort of good positive benefits you're going to get with that beetroot powder.
Sweet. L-leucine at 1,000 milligrams.
So yeah, that's just an essential amino acid, just used for general health benefits, really. Obviously, muscle building being its primary objective, we want it for in a pre-workout to do with bodybuilding in specific. So it's good to have it in there because then you could argue that it's going down the BCAA route as well as a pre-workout.
Definitely. Next up, we have Acetyl L-carnitine hydrochloride, 750 milligrams.
Blimey. So carnitine, basically, let's put it simple, fat mobilisation in the body. It's an amino acid that sort of works the body in such a way that it would rather use fat as the energy source rather than sugars or muscle cell.
Yeah.
Carnitine is very, very well documented fat burner. That's basically what that is in short. That's its aim.
Nice. Caffeine anhydrous, 300 milligrams.
So I would argue that's the perfect dose of caffeine.
It's a nice amount.
Any lower and you're starting not to feel it. Any more and it's, you know, it's
can sometimes
unhealthy,
be a bit,
potentially unhealthy, or more along the lines of you're going to be staying up for a long period of time, jitteriness. But 300 milligrams of anhydrous caffeine, should I say? That's a good dose.
Gets the job
done. Stimulant.
We have an interesting ingredient now that you won't see in, we haven't seen in any others anyway.
No.
DMAE, basically, which do you want to have a go at pronouncing the long?
Dimethylphenolalamine.
DL-bitarate.
Yeah, so we did a bit of research on it. We was thinking it was down the lines of DMAA, DMHA, which you could argue it is, but it's definitely not as powerful. One.
Yeah.
Two, it's not so much a stimulant as the latter two. But what I will say is it has been shown to improve sort of nerve endings in terms of neurotransmitters. So basically, to stop confusing you guys, for those of you who don't know, it's going to give you that mental clarity, the focus you need in the gym. Just the concentration levels will be improved with that. At 300 milligrams, to be honest with you, with the research we've done, we can't specify if that's a good dosage or if that's a bad dosage. You know, it's very limited. And like we say, we've only come across this at one time, but we do know concentration will be improved with it.
Yeah. Next up, another quite a strange one is Rhodiola rosea extract, 200 milligrams.
So that one, do you remember what that one was for?
That had a few different benefits, didn't it? So it will improve endurance, is for one.
It's been shown to promote weight loss. It's been shown to improve endurance, which you said, but also in terms of mental endurance and mental fatigue. It will stop you fatiguing mentally. It'll stop you feeling quite as drained. There's quite a lot of studies on rhodiola.
Nice, not a bad ingredient to have in there. Huperzine A, 1%, 10 milligrams is next.
That's quite a good dose, actually. Normally they're 5 milligrams Huperzine A. Again, mental stimulant, been shown to help with memory, concentration, coordination, all of those sort of focus needed elements in the gym. It's going to keep you ticking over.
And last up, the classic we always see in these pre-workouts with a lot of different ingredients. Black pepper, fruit extract, 5 milligrams, bioperine.
Yeah.
So they've gone with the, is that a patented?
Yeah, I believe it is. It's the type of black pepper it is. But yeah, again, that's digestion related. We do find that with pre-workouts with more ingredients than less, then they do chuck in a digestion aid just to help you process those ingredients.
So it's quite a stacked list.
And that sums it up.
Really.
Yeah, it's quite a stacked list. So, you know, you could argue that you're getting what you're paying for. We're obviously going to run through the final verdict and how we honestly felt on it. And then, you know, you guys can let us know if you want to give it a try or if you've tried it in the past, etc, etc. But stay tuned for that final verdict.
Okay, so how did we get on training with Alpha Instinct? To put it quite simply, just to start, we'll say that pump was really good. Focus was average, maybe slightly above. Energy levels were quite low but consistent.
I would again go along those lines. Now, what I will quickly say about this pre-workout is that it's more based along the timeline of using it. It's I'll be honest, I'd say it's more of a pump only pre-workout. The reason being is with a lot of these ingredients, taking them for longer periods of time will give you more effects, like the creatine will build up, the agmatine sulfate, and there's a couple of other bits and pieces in there. So pumps were good. They were the best thing. pumps. There's a lot of. It reminds me of Full as Fuck, which is a British piano one. It even tastes like that, same flavour. A lot of the ingredients are the same. They just don't have the stimulants such as the the caffeine, etc. Focus. I would say average focus. You know, we did start to die off towards the end of chest and arms yesterday. I personally don't think it would survive a back or a leg day. Yeah. Especially a longer period one. Energy. I'll be honest. I didn't really feel the caffeine. No. It's like the best way we describe these kind of ones is it's like having a Red Bull or two, maybe. Like that sort of. Yeah, you feel a bit of energy, but you're not feeling buzzed up as such. So it wouldn't satisfy stim junkies. No way. No way. But it would satisfy pump chasers, people who want a bit of mental clarity, people who don't want something that's going to make them jitter off their nuts. Yeah, all night long. Yeah, so this will be okay to take as a daily and still sleep okay. But for someone like ourselves who do use a lot of pre-workouts, and we've seen a lot, if it was me, and if I'm being honest with you guys, I'd personally take the caffeine out of it and use it next to another pre-workout and use this as the stim-free or the pump ingredient, like Vaso Blitz, like Full as Fuck, like Big Noise by Redcon 1. To me, it's more along those lines with the pump rather than energy or focus. It's quite similar to PX1 by Overdrive Nutrition. Yeah, that's right. Similar effects. So for me, it's along those lines. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend doing that because it truly does have 300 milligrams of caffeine. So if you're going to stack it, and then you're going to be taking a lot of caffeine in, unless you can get one that's got sort of 200 milligrams or less caffeine, and then more in the like of DMAA, DMHA, or some other stimulants potentially. So that's our honest take on this one, and we'll run through the scores and the very final verdict now. What are you giving it out of 5 for effects before we move on? Because it did have a really good pump, and there was some energy, and the focus was reasonable. It did last. The bodies were more the thing that were taking the batter in at the end. Yeah, I'd give it a 3 out of 5. I was thinking 3 to 3.2. Around that. Alright, so final verdict time, Alpha Instinct. So first up was taste. So the taste we thought was more bitter. We didn't think that the sweetener thing didn't work. Yeah, the Vita Fibre or Vita Fibre. That's it. And it was quite gritty and not clumpy, but like at the bottom, especially, like it didn't mix 100%. It wasn't the worst, do not get me wrong. Yeah, doable. It was doable. I said a 2, you said a 2.5. So we landed 2.25. Yeah, so 2.25 on taste out of 5. It potentially would get worse if you could do it every day. Yeah, you might start to get sick of it. Price, what did we give price out of 5? We gave that a 3 out of 5. So above average. It was £1.40 per serving. Right. Not bad at all, considering there is quite a lot in here. Yeah. And last up was effects. So we did have a slight different opinion on effects. You said 3, I said 3.25. We have actually decided on a 3 because you said you were just below 3, weren't you? Yeah, really? I was close to going almost as low as 2.5, 2.75. And that's basing it on the better days, like the 3. So yeah, we did settle on a 3 out of 5, and I personally think that's quite fair. Yeah. So let's add those scores up, and we'll give it a total out of 15. So we had a 2.25 plus a 3, plus another 3 is 8.25 out of 15. Above average overall. Not a bad pre-workout. Not good for stim junkies, obviously, but good for people who want a consistent, healthy pre-workout that's going to give you pumps as a priority. Yeah, pumps as a priority, and those who don't respond well to stimulants, as someone who doesn't want caffeine. I'd say it's a good pick-me-up for a day after work, going to the gym, and then you want to obviously get to sleep for work the next day. This would be probably the one for you. Yeah, definitely. So while we might sound negative about it, it definitely does have its positive effects. There is an audience out there for it. Oh, definitely. I'm definitely quite excited to see how Alpha Instinct come along with their products in the future. It's, you know, it's a solid pre-workout, and the fact that we sound more negative is because we've simply done those ones that are stimmed up to the max. So
yeah.
So do bear in mind, if you're a pump chaser, not quite a stimulant chaser, then this is definitely one for you. Big thanks to Alpha Instinct for getting us this one out. Stay tuned for more reviews coming up. Please do give us a like and subscribe if you can. Comment if you've tried it before. And as always, stay strong.
Thanks, guys.